With pay-per-view no longer being a thing in the UFC starting in 2026, pay-per-view points for fighters won't be an option. Dana White doesn't know exactly how all the economics of fighter pay will change in 2026, but he says fighters will get more bonuses.
Fighter pay.
Fighter pay.
Yeah. So do you look at it as like case by case on each fighter, or do you go, right, we're just going to up the base pay and maybe up the bonuses? How do you sort of figure out the fighter pay rise?
Yeah. These are. Listen, I'm not going to have any comments on that yet because we still got to get together and figure this stuff out. It's August. We have till January to figure all that stuff. But the low hanging fruit that's easy to answer, bonuses are obviously going up. So, that'll be big. And just forget about the tide rising with all the other fighters. I mean, just the number that the bonuses bring to a fighter is, that's millions of dollars.
Going back to a pay-per-view, it's a very rare thing in this day and age for things to get cheaper for fans, right? And now the UFC is going to be cheaper for UFC fans. How much was the rising cost of pay-per-view a factor in your decision to maybe move away from that model?
So whatever happens with our partner, when we go in and we do a new deal, we were with Spike TV, then we went with Fox, ESPN, and now Paramount. All of these guys have different objectives and goals, that they want to do with their property over the next several years. Whatever it is, we are aligned, and we get in, we roll up our sleeves, and we do what needs to be done. If it was going to be pay-per-view, it was going to be pay-per-view. If it was going to be subscription. The whole thing started going out. Pay-per-view's dead. Pay-per-view's not dead. We're on pay-per-view on Saturday, and the pay-per-view business is still very much alive and well. But we were talking about potential pay-per-view with other streaming partners that we were talking to in the deal, but it's not in this one. And who knows what could happen? The beautiful thing about this business is every year something happens that I don't see coming. A fight that you never thought would happen, or who knows? I mean, now, we're doing boxing and we're doing MMA. Who knows what could happen? And anything could be a pay-per-view. Something could be a pay-per-view still.
While they'll probably be argumentative during the press conference on Thursday, the first meeting of Khamzat Chimaev and DDP during fight week was a pleasant one and respectful. It was a very brief encounter, but nonetheless, people dissected it a lot. The most common comment is that Khamzat looks huge. He looks like really big. Some think maybe the angle of the camera also helped him out in that regard. Couple people note that maybe DDP looks nervous, but others say he's just sizing him up, and also note that he touches him on the shoulder, kind of like Tom Aspinall does with his opponents to try and gauge the reach and distance of Khamzat. For DDP in his fight with Khamzat Chimaev, experience will play a factor, not just number of fights, but his championship round experience. He's gone to the championship rounds multiple times, been able to fight 25 minutes hard for the entire time, whereas Khamzat has struggled to maintain a really high pace for even 3 rounds. He goes extremely hard in round 1, but hasn't been able to maintain that pace.
We entered the UFC at the same time. I'm on my 3rd title defense. He's fighting for his 1st title. It's there's experience plays its role. Being there 5 rounds, don't tell me Khamzat is not going and saying, yeah, I kill everybody, I smash everybody. Great. In your head, you haven't been able to fight the pace you want to once the 3rd round comes. Now you have to fight that 5th round. Now doing it in training is completely different. Now you're in a fight, what do I do if this goes for 5 rounds? So are you going to start now to conserve energy in the 1st and 2nd, then you're not fighting your fight. But we saw with the Whittaker fight, he's not going to do that. He went out there full speed once again. So in his mind, he has the doubt. I don't have that doubt because I went in there, went full speed with Strickland, 1st fight and the 2nd fight, 1 decision. The same thing with Adesanya. Got that 4th round finish. I know I can go in there and push the pace for 5 rounds if I have to.
Doo Ho Choi, the Korean Superboy, is out of his fight with Daniel Willicat Santos on September 27th in Perth. Doo Ho Choi sustained a knee injury during training. He says although he tried to prepare for the upcoming fight after consulting with his doctor, he decided to withdraw from the event. The injury isn't severe enough to require surgery, but competing now would worsen it. He apologized to fans that have been waiting since his last victory, and he says he's going to focus on recovery. If all goes well, he hopes to return by the end of this year or early next year. Zuffa Boxing, which is headed by Dana White, and Turkey LLC is close to securing a broadcast deal with Paramount, just coming a day after Dana and the UFC announced their $7.7 billion agreement with the network.
July 4th, 250th birthday of the United States of America, live on CBS from the White House.
Well,
so,
listen,
yeah. Fight card from the White House, live and free on CBS, the network. Come on.
Ariel Helwani was recently saying that Jones asked for around $30 million to fight Aspinall and Saudis got involved and actually tried to make that happen. We're going to make that happen. But despite that, Jones backed out a few days later and retired, leading to Aspinall being promoted as the heavyweight champ. Many believe that Jones either priced himself out on purpose or never intended to fight Aspinall at all. And despite pricing himself out, if that's what he was trying to do, they were willing to meet his demands.
I think Jones has been ducking him.
Yes.
Scared.
I don't like that word because I think it's disrespectful towards him, but I think he didn't want to fight him. And I think it was a calculated decision on his part. He is so close to the end, so close to retiring as undefeated.
Go.
Are you going to risk it all to fight this one guy who is really, really good and in my opinion would have given him a tough fight and probably would have beaten him? That's no disrespect. He's just a lot younger. Yes.
Can you knock him for being calculated though?
I don't knock him, no. I just wish it was handled differently.
I see.
You knew Tom was the guy. You last fought in November. Why did you wait all the way until June? Why did you drag this out all the way until June when you knew you weren't going to fight him? And my information is that he gave the UFC a number. He gave them a price tag. He said, I'll do it for this number.
What number?
I believe it's in the $30 million range. He didn't think that they would come up with a number. And they did. And then he said, yes.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Oh, they did come up with a number, yes. And I believe that Saudi Arabia was involved, like the big dogs were involved, right? They came up with the number and he said yes. And then 2 days later, 3 days later, whatever, he said, nah, on second thought, I'm out.
Company man Michael Chandler wants people to get Paramount Plus subscriptions. Are you scummy illegal streamers going to pony up and pay the Paramount subscription? Are you going to win a fight? Illegal streaming isn't scummy, making me pay $10K a year to watch every pay-per-view. Fight is scummy. Some people bring up his cheating in MMA. You know what's scummy? Fish hooking, back of the headshots, eye pokes, cage grabbing. You know who does all those things? You. That McDonald's cheeseburger you ate cost you $5, make it cost McDonald's 7 cents. Do you steal those too? I'm asking for a friend. Chandler last fought in April, lost in the third round via strikes to Paddy Pimblett. He has no fight scheduled. He wants to fight at the White House in 2026 on July 4th against Conor McGregor. He's lost 5 of his last 6 fights.